All right, guys, if you would please grab out your solving equations practice worksheet. We're just going to go through a few of these here, or I might go through the whole thing. We'll see. All right, so determine what will balance one rectangle. Explain your solution, then rewrite the expression as an equation. All right, so I need to figure out what is one rectangle equal. And let's go ahead and write an equation. So I'm going to say that every single rectangle is equal to x, and every little square is equal to 1. So I see that I have two x's, so two rectangles, so 2x plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares on the left, and that is set equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares on the right. So I'm going to solve this equation here. Now, there are many different ways that you guys, or not really many different ways, sorry, but I have my little sets and my little rules. And the first one is this. You will add or subtract first, and then the second thing you will multiply or divide. You're going to do the opposite of what you see. So right now I'm adding 5 on both sides. So I need to do the opposite of what I see and subtract 5 on both sides. And I'm going to be left with 5 minus 5 is 0. I'm going to be left with 2x on the left, and 9 minus 5 is 4. Now I can either multiply or divide. So I'm going to do the opposite of what I see. So right now I see a multiplication, so I'm going to divide, and I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides to get that x is equal to 2. So each rectangle is equivalent to 2 squares. All right, let's try this for number 2. I said I have 3 rectangles, so 3 x's plus 2 squares is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, do the opposite of what I see. So I'm going to add or subtract first. So I'm adding, so I'm going to subtract by 2 on both sides. I'm left with 3x is equal to, well, 20 minus 2 is 18. I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. X is going to equal 6. There should be 6 squares per rectangle. All right, number 3. Should have taken this off, I'm sorry. This one's actually a really hard one. Let's see, let me make sure. Did I leave another one on there? No. Now let's go ahead and do it. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave this one on here. All right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's on this side, plus 1 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 1, 2, 3, 3 x's on this side. All right. Let's see, do I want to do it? Nah. Just go ahead and mark it out. Don't do it. I don't want to teach it to you right now. Just go ahead and just mark it out. Okay. Solve each two-step equation. State the inverse operation in the correct order of operations you use to isolate the variable and check your solution. Okay, so I see subtraction, so I'm going to write my rules back over here. Add or subtract first, then multiply or divide. Okay, so I see subtraction, so I'm going to add 17 on both sides, add 17 on both sides. I have 3w is equal to, well, 17 plus 4 is 21. Now I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. And I'm going to get that w is equal to 7. Now it's asking me to check my solution, so I'm going to plug 7 back into my equation. So 3 times 7 minus 17 is equal to 4. 3 times 7 is 21 minus 17, 4. Borrow and carry. 11 minus 7 is 4. 1 minus 1 is 0. So 4 is equal to 4. And that is true. All right, number 5. Right now I have 25 plus 8x is equal to 65. We'll have a positive 25, so I'm going to subtract 25 on both sides. Subtract 25 on both sides. I'm left with 8x is equal to, well, 5 minus 5 is 0. 6 minus 2 is 4. I see multiplication. I'm going to divide. I'm going to divide by 8 on both sides to be left with x is equal to 5. Let's go ahead and double check this. So 25 plus 8, and everywhere I see an x will be a 5, is equal to 65. 25 plus 40 is equal to 65. And 25 plus 40 is 65. So that is true. All right. Number 6. All right. Add or subtract first. Well, right now I'm adding, so I'm going to subtract 5 on both sides. To have 7h is equal to, well, 8 minus 5, 5, 6, 7, 8 is 3. 3 minus 0 is 3. 1 minus 0 is 1. I need to divide by 7 on both sides. Divide by 7 on both sides. To get h is going to equal, well, let's go ahead and divide it here. 7 can go into 13 one time with 6 left over, bring down the 3. 7 can go into 63. I believe that's 9 times. Can go in there 9 full times with nothing left over to have h is equal to 19. Okay, let's go ahead and double check this here. So I'm going to have the 138 is equal to 7 times 19 plus 5 plus 7. 7 times 9 is 63. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'm going to have a 138 equals 133 plus 5. 133 plus 5 is 138 is equal to 138. And that is true. All right. Number 7. I have 16 equals 8 plus p over 2. All right. So the first thing I need to do is I see that I'm adding 8 on this side. I need to subtract 8. And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. 8 minus 8 is 0. I am left with p divided by 2 is equal to, well, 16 minus 8 is 8. I see division going on, so I need to multiply by 2 on both sides. To get p is going to equal, well, 2 times 8 is 16. Okay, we need to go back and plug 16 back in to see, is 16 going to be the answer? 16 is equal to 8 plus, everywhere I see a p, I'm going to place a 2 in it, or not a 2, but I'm going to replace a 16 in it. And then I'm going to have 16 is equal to 8 plus, well, 16 divided by 2 is 8. And 8 plus 8 is 16, and that does true equal 16. All right, number 8. So before that, it says determine whether the given value is a solution to the equation. So is t equals 15 a solution to the equation? 18 minus 8 is equal to 120. Well, that means I need to take t equals 15. I need to take 15, and we're going to plug him in for t. So I'm going to say 8 times 15 minus 8 is equal to 120. That's what I need to find out. So I'm going to have 15 times 8. Well, 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4 more is 120. So I have a 120 minus 8 is equal to 120. Well, if I'm going to take 8 away from 120, I'm going to end up with 2, 1, 1. I end up with 112. And does this equal 120? The answer is no. So 15 is not the solution to this equation. All right, let's check number 9. Is 22 going to be the solution to this equation? So everywhere I see a W, I'm going to plug a 22 in. So I'm going to have 20 is equal to 22 divided by 2 plus 9. Well, 22 divided by 2 is 11. So I'm going to have 20 is equal to 11 plus 9. And 11 plus 9 is 20. So does 20 equal 20? And the answer is yes. So 22 is the solution to this equation. Number 10, is p equals 8 a solution to the equation? 16 minus p over 4 equals 12. So I'm going to plug in an 8 everywhere I see a p. So 16 minus 8 divided by 4 is equal to 12. Well, 4 can go into 8 2 times. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. So I'm going to have 16 minus 2 equals 12. Well, 16 minus 2 is 14. Does 14 equal 12? The answer is no. So p equals 8 is not a solution to my problem. Okay, write an equation to represent each situation. Define your variables, solve the equation, and verify your solution. Miss Mortali charges her piano students $40 per lesson plus a semester of recital fee for $55. How many lessons did Jerry take if he paid for a total of $695 for the lessons this semester? All right. Let's see. She charges $40 per lesson plus a recital fee of $50. So I know that per lesson I do, it's $40. So let's say X equals the lessons. Okay. So I'm paying for $40 per so many lessons. I want to know how many lessons did I do? I know that I have to pay a recital fee. That's a given. And I know that I've paid $695 for this. I want to know for $695, how many lessons can I get? All right, so let's solve this equation. I need to subtract 55 from both sides to get 40x on the left side. 5 minus 5 is 0. 9 minus 5 is 4. 6 minus 0 is 6. I now have 40x is equal to 640. I'm going to divide by 40 on both sides. Let's go over here. So 640 divided by 40. Well, 40 can't go into 6, but it can go into 60 one time. 4 left over, 2 left over, 0. Now let's think of the multiples of 40. I'm going to go over here. I've got 40, 80, 120, 116, 200, 220, and then 240. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at 240 with nothing left over to equal 17 lessons. 17 lessons. All right. Number 12. The Sunshine Nursery offers a spring flower deal. If a customer purchases at least one flat of 6 annuals, they will receive 3 pre-annuals, 3 free pre-annuals. How many flats of annuals must you buy in order to get a total of 21 plants? Okay, let's see. They will purchase at least one flat of 6 annuals. They will receive 3 free. Okay, so 1 flat equals 6. Okay, I'm going to say X is represented for the number of flats that I have. Okay. No matter what, I'm going to receive 3 plants in all, or 3 free plants. And I want to know 21 total plants. So how many flats do I need to buy to get 21 in all, Okay. I know that I get 6 per flat. So if I buy 1 flat, it's 6 flowers plus an additional 3 flowers. Okay. I want to know how many flats do I have to buy to get 21. So I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides. I'm left with 6x is equal to, well, 21 minus 3 is going to be what? 20, 19, 18 is 18. Divide by 6 on both sides. And I'm going to get 18 divided by 3 is, or 18 divided by 6 is 3. So you should need to purchase 3 flats to get 21 plants total. And we can go back and check this. 3 times 6, because it's 6 plants per flat. So 3 times 6 is 18. Plus our 3 free plants, 19, 20, 21, which gets me a total of 21 plants. All right. All right, let's go ahead and scrap this one. All right, number 14. Solve each equation and show your steps. All right, so I'm going to solve this equation. So right now, I'm going to do this. Do not forget your steps. You're going to add or subtract and then multiply or divide. So I see that I'm subtracting by 11, so I'm going to add 11 to both sides. Negative 11 plus 11 is 0, so I'm left with 9x is equal to, well, I have negative 38 plus 11. So I have 2 signs that are opposite, so I'm going to really subtract. 8 minus 1 is 7, 3 minus 1 is 2, and I brought more negatives, so I'm going to have negative 27. I need to divide by 9 on both sides, divide by 9. And I'm going to get x is equal to, well, a negative divided by a positive is a negative, and 27 divided by 9 is 3. So the answer is negative 3, which is B. Okay. All right, let's try this one. Ooh, this one's a doozy. All right, so I see addition, so I'm adding 3.7, so I'm going to subtract 3.7 from both sides. Now, remember, when subtracting with your decimals, you need to line them up. So 2.5x is equal to, well, I can't do 2 minus 7, so I've got to borrow and carry. Well, 12 minus 7 is 5. bring down the decimal. I can't do 0 minus 3, so I need to borrow and carry. Well, 10 minus 3 is 7. Bring down the 1 at 17. Now I need to divide by 2.5 on both sides. Okay, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to have 2.5 on the outside, 17.5 on the inside. Now, when dividing with decimals, you cannot have a decimal on the outside. You have to make sure that you get it all the way to where you have a whole number on the outside. What you do on the outside of moving your decimal, you have to do the exact same thing on the inside. So once I move it, I'm going to move my decimal straight up so I don't lose it. Okay, so now I have 25. It can't go into 1, it can't go into 17, but it can go into 175. And I'm going to see how many times it can go in there. So I've got 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175. And it can go in there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 full times with nothing left over. So X is going to equal 7, which is C. All right, number 16, 0.09 is equal to X divided by 5 minus 2.8. All right, so the first step I need to do is I'm going to add 2.8 to both sides, adding 2.8 to both sides. And I'm going to be left with X divided by 5 is equal to, well, now I need to add these up. Well, 9 plus 8 is 17. 2 plus 1 is 3. And do not forget your decimal. So I now have a decimal on the bottom, or 3.7, I mean. I see division, so I'm going to do multiplication. So I'm going to multiply by 5 on both sides. So 3.7 times 5. 7 times 5 is 35. 5 times 3 is 15, 16, 17, 18. And I have one place value here. So that means I'm going to move my decimal one time on the inside to get me 18.5, which is the letter B. 18.5, which is the letter B. All right, number 17, I see I'm adding 29, so I'm going to subtract 29 on both sides, subtract 29 on both sides. I am left with 6X on the left. Well, I'm really subtracting the two numbers here, so 29 minus 5. Well, 5 minus 9 is 4, 2 minus 0 is 2. So I have 24, and I have more negatives. Now I need to divide by 6 on both sides. And negative divided by a positive is a negative. And 24 divided by 6 is 4. So my answer is A, negative 4. All right, let's try number 18. For number 18, I need to add 17 to both sides. Have negative 9p is equal to, well, 10 plus 17 is 27. I'm going to divide by negative 9. Do not forget that negative. Have p is equal to, well, positive divided by a negative is going to be a negative. 27 divided by 9 is 3. So my answer is A, negative 3. And the last one, number 19. See that I'm adding 10 to both sides. I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. I'm going to have D over 3 is equal to, well, 7 minus 10. I'm really going to be subtracting. So 10 minus 7 is 3. I have more negatives than positives, so I have a negative 3. Right now I'm dividing, so I need to do the opposite of division, and I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to multiply by 3 on both sides. To get D is equal to, well, negative times a positive is a negative, and 3 times 3 is 9. So my answer should be D, negative 9. If you guys have any questions, please let us know.